1 year ago, ISIS, the world's deadliest terrorist organization, declared an Islamic state known as a caliphate. Since then, the terrorist group has made a fast and brutal advance, seizing large chunks of territory in Iraq and Syria and encountering little opposition across a wide area. Vocativ takes you to the front lines of the fight against ISIS, alongside many of the groups who are fighting back. In Syria, one of the staunchest opponents of ISIS is the Free Syrian Army, often called the FSA. It's an umbrella group of opposition fighters that formed in 2011 to fight the brutal regime of Bashar al-Assad. But they've also been forced to confront ISIS in key areas of Syria. Last August, the FSA achieved some measure of notoriety by killing the American ISIS fighter Douglas McCain.
وحصلنا على جواز سفر لرجل أمريكي الجنسية قد دخل سوريا قبل 3 أشهر من مقتله.
Quickly, Lindsey. We are targeted with tanks now.
Vocativ's senior foreign reporter Lindsey Snell met up with an FSA brigade just weeks after that.
Douglas McCain and some of his group sneaked to our heavy weapon. They killed 3 good fighters. Then our people killed all IS.
For years, the US has promised arms and aid to the FSA. The truth is, they are so lacking in weaponry, they're often forced to make their own.
يحرق نار عليه هيك عم يضربوا وعم.
While Vocativ was embedded with the FSA near Aleppo, we were given access to a man they said was a captured ISIS fighter.
انضميت قبل سنة تقريبا مع ما يسمى بدولة العراق والشام داعش.
Do you regret joining ISIS?
نعم. أنا حاسس أنا يعني غير إن أشياء كثيرة إن كنت خدعت. تجر الآن الناس تجر الفصائل تجر المقاتلين في الأرض إلى حرب ما هو بوقتها ولا هو بوقتها ولا له داعي لها. نجد ترهات مزاعم أرض تراب نطامع.
الله أكبر بيجي بالخضار يا فكي.
In September, the FSA announced an alliance with the Kurds to fight ISIS in northern Syria. The Kurds were under siege in several areas, including the strategic town of Kobani, which borders Turkey. Over the course of several months, the FSA and the Kurds, with the help of US airstrikes, pushed ISIS out of Kobani. ISIS used car bombs and suicide attacks to try to seize Kobani again. But Kurdish forces say they forced them out. In Iraq, the rise of ISIS, an extremist Sunni organization, triggered a major response from the larger Shiite community.
حاليا هسه داعش جاي لاحظ العدد الهمر جاي لاحظ داعش يعبرون يمنى ويسرى الشارع ويتقدمون باتجاه القطاعات حاليا جاي يعالج هو الارجاح.
With the help of Shiite Iran, which has provided military and financial aid, the Shiite militias began mobilizing against ISIS in the middle of 2014.
هذا اسخن قاطع هسه موجود.
هو بدياله يعني. هم من عند
ساعتين مقابلك 100 متر جا تسمع صوت 100 متر.
Vocativ embedded with one of the most powerful of the Shiite units, the Badr organization, as they liberated a town from ISIS north of Baghdad.
خلوا الشيوع طبعوا علينا ويعني حل قتلوا أولادنا وراحوا يعني خسائر كثيرة.
My brother killed by the bad guys.
His father?
Hey.
حصار دعم من الدواعش ولعنهم الله والآن إحنا.
The Badr organization also helped to retake the Sunni city of Tikrit in April, the birthplace of Saddam Hussein. It's the largest city ISIS has lost in either Iraq or Syria. During this offensive and others, there have been persistent allegations that the Shiite militia have committed human rights abuses against Sunni civilians, including allegations of torture and revenge killings.
الحشد الشعبي هناك عناصر فيه قامت بأعمال لا تقل على الإطلاق عن مستوى داعش، وإنما أيضا هدم بيوتهم وسلب أموالهم.
One of the most prominent Shiite fighters is a man nicknamed Abu Azrael, who's been dubbed the Angel of Death. He's become a cult hero to many Iraqis. He reportedly leads a Shiite militia called the Al-Imam Ali Brigades. He's a powerful propaganda tool, the Shiite Rambo in the battle against ISIS.
الشهرة خطورة أنه تتقدم إلى الخطوط الأمامية لأن داعش يبحثون عن شخصك الآن.
بس وبعد لا بس خلي أنا شعاري أهلا بالموت إذا جاء القدر.
Abu Azrael has over 40 Facebook fan groups with hundreds of thousands of members. He even has a catchphrase.
إلا طحين إلا طحين.
Ila tahin, which translates to nothing but flour. It means to pulverize ISIS into dust. Aside from Syria, the Kurdish defense forces in Iraq, known as the Peshmerga, are fighting their own war against ISIS in the northern part of the country. ISIS pushed into Kurdish territory in August 2014 and attacked tens of thousands of Yazidis, a local religious minority.
He's asking for his mom. We are afraid in here. They are coming to here. They are coming to here, to Kurdistan.
That helped spur an air campaign by US and coalition forces. Since then, they've conducted more than 4,600 airstrikes in Iraq and Syria and killed thousands of ISIS fighters. The Kurds have proven effective at capitalizing on US airstrikes to push ISIS out of their territory, including retaking the vital Mosul Dam. In the face of the ISIS onslaught, the Kurdish army has recruited female fighters to defend their homeland.
ISIS will never win this war. We will fight them until they die. We will defend Kurdistan to our last breath.
It's kind of haunting. Some of the places that you can really tell used to be occupied by U.S. forces. There's a lot of, like, I've been in a couple of these buildings where there's, cleaning schedules from 2011.
President Obama has resisted putting combat troops on the ground to fight ISIS. But since June 2014, more than 3,000 US military personnel have been deployed to Iraq, most of them to advise and train Iraqi forces. Vocativ visited one of the training facilities in Iraq in December.
Back!
When did they actually start firing weapons and getting live ammo?
I'm not too sure exactly when that's going to happen, but either way, you don't need ammo to train.
Top US commanders have been very critical of the Iraqi military, who have lost the major cities of Mosul and Ramadi to ISIS.
Do you think that this will ultimately end in American ground troops here in Iraq?
I don't think that there will come a time where we will look to invest that kind of blood or treasure into this fight. This is a fight that the Iraqis have to win on their own. We're going to do the best that we can do to build their capacity to get them to a point where they can stand on their own 2 feet and fight their fight, but it is their fight to fight.